What up? Wednesday edition of Cluster Fun. Danny Cunningham, Ramie Makhlouf, going to talk about last night's debacle. Ramie, I know you were upset, I was upset, Phil was upset. The NBA draft lottery took place last night in Chicago, and as expected, the Minnesota Timberwolves did not jump up into the top four despite the 13.9% chance they had of doing so.
Well, not as expected by you and me.
Correct.
We had them moving up.
By the pessimistic general public here.
Sure.
What probably was not expected by those folks, especially us, was the fact that they actually slid down a spot to number 11 because the Los Angeles Lakers, who finished one game better than the Wolves in the season, jumped all the way up to number 4. It was a disappointing night, Ramie.
It hurt. It hurt. It hurt. I don't even know what else to say. I was speechless last night. We were doing the watch along on all the social media platforms, on the air, everywhere. I didn't know what to say after it happened. I still don't know what to say today. You might have had the wrong guest in here for Cluster Fun today, because I really don't know what to say. And I have more hours of radio to make about this debacle, and I don't know what to say, Danny Cunningham.
You just said that you don't know what to say 4 times.
Because I don't know what else to say.
And all you said was, I don't know what to say.
Because I don't know what to say.
It was a disappointing night. It really was. It was a night where the franchise could have seen their fortunes change potentially forever, but obviously that didn't happen. It still was a wild lottery. I mean, you saw New Orleans jump all the way up to number 1, Memphis to number 2, the Lakers to number 4. The only team that was really tanking and horrible that got in the top 4 was the New York Knicks, and all their fans were upset because they landed at number 3 instead of the number 1 where they were originally slotted.
They so had their hearts set on Zion Williamson.
Did you see the video of the New York Knicks official draft lottery watch party last night?
I don't think so, no.
So after the commercial, and the way it worked when ESPN televised this was they showed slots number 14 through 5 because the top 4 are selected, so you knew who the top 4 teams were going to be after pick number 5 when the Cleveland Cavaliers came up. And then they cut to commercial break because that's what these television stations do. It's a terrific cliffhanger.
Great.
You're going to stay through those commercials. I have to bet that those commercials are incredibly high priced.
You would think so.
Those have to be like prime real estate commercials.
You would think.
So they come back, and all these Knicks fans are happy, and they're waiting. And the first team that pops up, the number 4 selection, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the crowd goes nuts because 1, it's the Lakers, and 2, it's not the Knicks.
Right.
And then there's like a 10-second pause, and then so they go from going insane, a 10-second pause, and then the New York Knicks, and they are distraught.
That's the one thing about this lottery that made me really happy, was Knicks fans not getting what they wanted. That was really fun to watch, including Stephen A. Smith, maybe the biggest Knicks fan. Did you see his
I did not see it. What did he say?
He's in the dark for some reason. It's in the dark, and it's worse video quality than anything Judd Zulgad has ever tweeted out.
That's bad.
That's really bad. And he's it's just screams of agony. I can't even say what he said because there weren't really words, and I can't recreate those sounds. You'll just have to go and find it for yourself. But it really personifies, embodies, I think, how Knicks fans are feeling right now. Are you trying to find it?
I am looking up Stephen A. Smith. Oh,
are you going to play it for the people? Because it's amazing. I don't know if the microphones will pick it up or not.
Damn it! Damn it!
I think he might be crying.
Typical Knicks, man. I knew it. They get close.
Just wait.
Tease us. Then they wouldn't get it done.
That's probably the best part right there. That's amazing. That's how Knicks fans feel. Even if they can't express it as well as Stephen A. Smith does right there, that's exactly how Knicks fans feel. If you could put it into a sound, that's it.
There's no better entertainer than Stephen A. Smith.
He's great.
Like, no one can do what he just did.
I don't know about you. I used to not like him, and then I got it.
It's very much like the Dan Le Batard show. If you don't get the show, it's kind of painful. But if you get the show, it's the greatest thing in the world.
He's just an entertainer.
Stephen A. Smith, you can't take his reports and stuff like that. He's not a reporter anymore. He is now an entertainer. The E in ESPN stands for entertainment, and Stephen A. Smith is the capital.
He delivers.
He delivers unlike anyone else. I mean, you can't beat that.
One way or another, he delivers the entertainment.
Whether it's to stay off the weed or stuff like that, it's perfect. Stephen A. Smith, I applaud you.
But that was amazing.
Yes, that was perfect.
And if people could see it, you should go and see it.
Yes,
after
Stephen
you're done
A.
watching
Smith
this.
on Twitter.
Don't scroll down. Don't scroll down. After we're done, you should go and see it.
So let's flip to baseball. Minnesota Twins, they play this afternoon against the Los Angeles Angels. Seth actually hung out with Mike Trout this morning, and I know he's smiling from ear to ear. He said it's the happiest morning of his life, better than the morning in which he got married.
Wow, you're just going to go on the air with that, huh?
He said, "I'm sorry, Maggie," but he said it. I can't lie to you.
I don't blame you. I admire it, actually. I think you should go on the air with that.
I mean, he got to hang out with Mike Trout. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
So they play the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Orange County, of wherever else this afternoon at noon at Target Field. Miguel Sano activated. I'm not sure if he's in the lineup yet. I don't know if a lineup's been released, but he's back on the active 25-man roster. And I know that sounds like a really good thing on the surface, but are we sure that it is? I know Mitch Garver getting hurt is a big deal because he was hitting like Barry Bonds in his prime, but is Miguel Sano being back really that good of a thing for the Twins right now?
I don't think it can be a bad thing.
I think it can.
Even with Mitch Garver out, I think this lineup is plenty potent enough to keep on winning baseball games, and I'm not getting my brakes fixed. They're still cut. The brakes are still cut on the 2019 Minnesota Twins.
I did like that you said yesterday at some point, I don't remember what show it was on that we were together, but you talked about having your brakes cut with the Wolves too. I'm like, well, they're stuck in mud, so you're safe.
I said I did not. I'm not even worried about brakes with the Wolves right now because we just dropped a new transmission in that thing. We're just trying to get it rolling out of the garage at this point.
Because they are stuck in mud.
And Garrison Rosas is the new transmission, so don't even worry about brakes. That car ain't even moving yet with the Wolves.
It's too bad he doesn't have Zion to push.
But with the Twins, I'm still not getting my brakes fixed. I'm not pulling over at the next garage to get my brakes fixed.
Well, I mean, even if you did, you would just go through it because you can't stop yourself.
I can come to a rolling stop. I'm not going to.
You might.
I'm not going to.
You might at some point.
This thing is flying. It's speeding right down the road. But if Miguel Sano doesn't deliver and doesn't end up blossoming this year into the player that Twins fans hoped Miguel Sano would be when he first came here with big expectations, you don't need him. Your offense is plenty potent.
But that's why I think it could maybe be a problem, because where are you going to squeeze him in this lineup?
You won't. If he's not producing,
you're going to try it first.
Yeah.
And where do you do that? Who do you take at bats away from
I think it's a short leash. I think it's a very short leash.
Who in the interim do you take at bats away from to get him in the lineup and to see if he can get it rolling?
I mean, I think you'll move him around. Marwin Gonzalez. Nelson Cruz is banged up right now. He's going to need some time off. You can put him in the DH role. Marwin Gonzalez hasn't. I mean, he's started to heat up a little bit with the bat, but he hasn't been setting the world on fire offensively.
He didn't exactly make a great play in right field the other night either.
I don't think you can take C.J. Cron off the field at this point. So, and I know Sano plays a little first base. Everybody needs a day off here and there, so maybe you spell C.J. Cron on a Sunday with Miguel Sano in the lineup, but. Again, I don't think that they'll force the issue. If he's not delivering, you have the bats to plug in there. And if he is delivering, now you got another bat, and this team is that much more deep and that much more potent.
And Sano is not in the lineup for today's game against the Angels. He's not in the lineup. I wonder if he's actually here yet, because I don't know that this was it could have been a spur-of-the-moment call-up with having to put Garver on the DL, or the IL, excuse me. And, I mean, you don't know if he's back in the Twin Cities yet, so that could be a reason as to why he's actually not in the lineup tonight, or this afternoon, too.
You still may see him at some point.
Yeah, he could be available to pinch hit, but I'm always curious when these guys do get called up spur of the moment, depending on how far away the AAA or AA team, wherever they're at what point they actually get there. Because you do see a lot of times guys that are active for a game that they're not in the ballpark when the game starts because they're traveling to get to the ballpark.
And you actually see somewhat often guys who are called up, or if they're traded, they'll land, go to the ballpark, and next thing they know, they're in a uniform and pinch hitting in the 7th inning. Like it can literally,
and they don't have an apartment.
It can literally happen that fast. Yeah, they have no idea where they're going once the game is over and they pack their bags or close up their locker. They have no idea where they're going. They just know it's the 7th inning. I'm wearing a different uniform than I was yesterday, and they need a hit from me.
My favorite trade thing is when there's a trade that happens between two teams that are playing each other. Like this happened last year between Milwaukee and Washington when the Brewers traded for Gio Gonzalez, who was playing with the Nationals. He just kind of walked to the other dugout.
I forgot who it was. Somebody last year, because bullpen carts were reintroduced into baseball last year.
Amazing.
Two teams that were playing each other pulled off a trade, and the player took the bullpen cart from one locker room to the other.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
That's absolutely
I wish I
amazing.
could remember who it was. I'm sure if we did a quick search, we could find out who it was, but it was great. That's the best move from one team to another that I've literally ever seen.
That is amazing. Okay, it was Jake Diekman.
Oh, you found it. Cool.
I believe it was a trade between the Diamondbacks and the Rangers last July 31st.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's great.
I want more of that. I think every team should have bullpen cards.
I agree.
Like, the Twins don't. I don't
Although
believe they do.
I do like crazy reliever guy sprinting out of the bullpen.
But not enough of them do. Like a lot of them, it's just kind of a casual jog, and it's no fun. Either sprint or get a ride.
Right.
I don't think that there should be an in-between.
I agree with you.
And you should have to slide
or
into
be
the
carried
mound.
on a chariot.
That'd be fun, too,
be
but that's a
great.
lot of work for other people.
You have a whole bullpen. Like, 4 of those guys aren't pitching on a given night.
Not potentially. Like, what if you're the last guy in the bullpen? Like, what if you're the last one?
Or the second to last one. Does one guy just carry the other guy out on his
Do you
shoulder?
do a fireman's carry? Like, is that where we're at with transportation? Saving his legs?
It's a good point.
And then if you need okay, so
Yeah,
you
if
only
the
have
game
2 guys
goes deep.
back, and then you have to use the last guy. His legs are shot because he just had to carry someone 300 feet to the
carried
pitcher's
everyone.
mound.
He's been part of carrying everyone at that point. Yeah. No,
So
you're
he's
probably right.
essentially unavailable now.
You know what? The chariot's not going to work.
I mean, you could use a chariot, just like have a horse carry it.
It's not a bad
You should
idea.
ride it on a horse. I think that'd be fun too.
Have a pedicab.
Yeah.
Just a guy running.
I think each individual city should have like their own custom form of transportation.
Like representative of the city?
Yes. Like if Indianapolis had a baseball team, they have a AAA team.
Mm-hmm.
Their bullpen cart should be like a Indy car. Like real low to the ground. You have to wear a helmet when you get in it. Like I think that's what it should be.
And in New York, you'd have like a guy, like a taxi driver just screaming at people.
Or
on his way to the mound.
or on a subway. Like
Get out of the way!
Yeah. There would be divots in the outfield
I'm
because
driving over here!
he would have a minimum of 4 lane changes on the trek from the bullpen to the mound. So there'd be a lot of divots in the outfield.
That's true.
It would tear up Yankee
Again,
Stadium.
this isn't going to work.
But I'm here. Oh, yes, it is.
I don't think so.
This makes baseball way more fun.
Let's just stick with the bullpen cards. By the way, you're not boycotting baseball anymore, are you?
No, I'm
Okay,
back because
good.
Tim Anderson continues to be awesome.
Good.
I'm thinking about getting a Tim Anderson jersey. Don't like the White Sox.
I'm a fan of Tim
Never
Anderson.
have, never will, but I love his act.
Yeah, I can't stand the White Sox. I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh, you like the Cubs? Do you?
But I do like Tim Anderson, although I found out a couple things about him that make me question the guy and his character.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like Chicago-style deep dish pizza,
Neither do I.
and he puts ketchup on his hot dogs.
Okay, that I don't agree with. Although he was on the Dan Le Batard show last week, the day after.
Yeah, I think that's where I heard that.
The day after someone in Oakland threw a no-hitter, which I didn't find out about because,
Myers.
sure, that's the guy. After he threw a no-hitter and Dan and Stu Gatz asked him, did you know this happened last night? He goes, yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter this morning. I really don't pay attention to baseball, though. It's kind of boring. Like, this is a guy that plays baseball for a living. He's like, I'm not really clued into baseball. I'm like, my man, that was awesome. But I love Tim Anderson, man.
You don't
He's
like
great.
Chicago-style deep dish?
No, I'm a thin crust guy.
I mean, I like all pizzas.
If I want lasagna, I'll make lasagna.
That's not lasagna.
It's lasagna,
It's not.
man.
But you know what? People say that all the time, like it's an insult. Lasagna is delicious. So go ahead
Sure.
and call it lasagna if you want.
Sure, but if
That
I
doesn't
want
make me love it
lasagna,
any
I'll have
less.
lasagna. I don't need to have.
No.
I don't need to have Chicago style deep dish.
I'm all
Maybe
about
you and I will go to Giordano's at some
We
point.
should.
We'll have it.
We're
Just-
We live right around the corner.
We do.
from
We
it.
live like half a mile from Giordano's. I haven't had it
That's
actually.
literally part of that factored into my decision and where I was going to live.
Of course it did. I've never had Giordano's.
We should go.
All right,
We should go.
We will.
All right.
Seth, do you want to come?
Social media Seth.
Seth wants to come. He'll bring Mike Trout.
All right.
This has been Cluster Fun.
If
That's
you bring
Ramie
Mike Trout,
Makhlouf.
I pay for dinner. I'll pay for dinner if you bring Mike Trout.
Come on, dude. I want free pizza. We'll be back tomorrow on Cluster Fun. Probably less Mike Trout
With special
references.
guest Mike Trout.
He might be here, though. You never know. The Angels might have an off day.